Chiropractors, physical therapists, personal trainers, if you want to work with clients online but you're not quite sure how, I'm going to walk you through 3 business ideas for your online business right here. So first thing I want you to understand is that you should be getting paid for what you know, not what you do. Okay, so right now you're getting paid for manually touching people, adjusting them, helping them in person. You have to understand that you have infinitely more knowledge than what you can do with people in person. And what that means is you've been in school for 4 years undergrad, 4+ years post-grad. You have a lot of understanding of how the body works, how to solve specific issues. And I'm willing to bet that you could probably help someone else without ever touching them, just based on your expertise and guidance of like how to reduce back pain, how to solve knee issues through some self-directed stuff that you could prescribe to them, okay? So I want you to think about this. How do I get paid for what I know, not what I do? How do I get paid for using my brain, not my body? Cool? Second thing is that your clients' results will actually be way better than when they see you in person. So I'm not saying there's not a place for manual therapy, but what I'm saying is, having been a patient and obviously having helped thousands of other health practitioners, it's a very passive experience for the patients. They come into the clinic, they lay on the table, and they're done. In and out. It's very transactional. They get better temporarily, you make a little bit of money for that one session, and then they go back to their life, and then they come back in when they don't feel as hot, and it's the same non-stop back and forth. The problem with that is that it's a transactional model for you as a business owner, but also for them as the patient. What we prescribe for our clients is more of a transformational model. So when you work with clients online, what happens is they actually have to do the work. Oh, who would have thought, right? They actually can't just lay on a table and experience a virtual adjustment. So what does that mean? It means they actually have to do something. And we know, even if you're working with clients in person, you know that if you have your clients or patients do stuff on their own between sessions, they will improve their outcomes, right? Exactly. And that's exactly why working with people virtually is better for them, because it's less demanding on you and more about them. And I'm going to share 4 specific examples with you, so keep watching. Third, okay, so you have to have confidence that online is better than brick and mortar, okay? Now, this is something you have to just kind of really sell yourself on, because someone's coming into your world virtually, they're gonna ask themselves, why should I work with a chiropractor or a physical therapist or anyone online when I could just go down the street to my local chiropractor or my local gym or whatever and do the work there? You have to be able to address that, and you have to, with conviction, tell them that's a terrible idea. Working with me virtually is way better. How you do that, obviously you can watch some of my other videos. It's something we help our clients with, whatever. Because if someone's like, well, like, I don't fundamentally believe you virtually can help my back pain, they're not gonna work with you. And the thing is, the ones who do the best are the ones who are able to clearly, with conviction, articulate why working with them virtually is way better for their clients than if they saw someone in person. You have to remember that, it's very important. I get these conversations sometimes on social, like, hey, tell me how I can do this stuff online. I'm like, that's for you to figure out. I'll give you some frameworks there, but I can't get in your head and tell you what you should already know, having been in school and practice for like 10 to 15 years. You discount your own knowledge. You think that, oh, it's no big deal. No one knows anything. No one even knows to drink water is important, okay? So don't discount what you know. Let me walk you through 3 business ideas that I've seen our clients do successfully. So first thing is we look at pain reduction. So this is really simple if you're a physical therapist, chiropractor, osteopath, someone who deals with this stuff in person anyways. Pain reduction / like improved range of motion type of stuff, okay? So how could I help someone reduce pain in whatever area of the body? It doesn't have to be generalized pain. Like it could be knee pain, could be shoulder pain, could be limited mobility, you know, for tennis players, whatever it is. And this is where your brilliance can come out. It's like I would prescribe these soft tissue exercises. I would do these range of motion exercises. I would have them kind of do some mobility work doing this and some strength and, you know, whatever. And you basically build out a protocol, a curriculum that would suit these types of clients. But one of the things I talk about is single target market, single pain or problem. Let's just use the example of shoulder pain. You have one curriculum for everyone, okay? So you become, for instance, the shoulder pain specialist, helping tennis players improve their serve. I don't know, like something like that. It doesn't have to be tennis players. It can just be like shoulder pain, you know, type of stuff. And it could also be a very specific type of shoulder pain that you can filter through in your marketing. So for instance, I work specifically with impingement syndrome, okay? But if you have like bursitis or something else going on, there's nothing I can do for you, right? So you can qualify people properly so that when you have people coming through, you know that they can all follow the same curriculum, and that like 10% of people are not gonna be like, well, this doesn't apply to me because I have this other messed up issue that wasn't considered in the first place. So you can be very specific with who you wanna work with. Like for us, we don't work with health professionals who've never worked with a paying client. Well, you're like, I don't give a fuck. I can't help you if you don't know how to help other people. So you have to be very specific about who you are willing and not willing to work with. When it comes to pain, reduction, range of motion, think about who could you produce a result for, a single target market, if you were to walk them through a curriculum that would be self-directed on their own, and that you come in with accountability, some coaching, et cetera, on top of that, okay? It's a really, really simple business example of many clients who've done very well with it. So I'll give you a couple examples. So Susie, one of our clients, a physical therapist, and she specializes in knee pain, a specific type of knee pain, okay? And she's been working with people across Canada and the US now for 2 years online, and you know, she's built a 6-figure business, and she's never seen any of her clients in person, okay? Another one of our clients, Tom, he's an osteopath in the UK. He's just a beast. Like he works with Hollywood celebrities and so forth, and he's just like, I know exactly how to help people, and I've worked with many people online before, and I know this protocol works. Boom, okay? Charlie, physical therapist, the most he had ever made in his physical practice was 10K per month. And working with everyone. When he started working with us, this is just when the pandemic had started, so he's obviously forced to come online at that time. He was making $24,000 per month within a few months of starting, and only focusing on helping women with sciatica. And they were getting better results than he was getting with his clients or patients in person. And the reason for that is because, again, there's a self-directed curriculum where the person has to actually do piriformis work, sit on a lacrosse ball, do some dynamic mobility stuff. Like the patient or the client actually has to do something. And when people actively do something toward their own healing, they get better results. I think we understand this, right? It's not rocket science. So I'm not discounting hands-on work, but I'm also saying you don't have to do that for the rest of your life if you don't want to. There is this other world that a lot of people are working in now, that a lot of customers, consumers, clients are preferring to work virtually because speed and convenience. They don't have to sit in waiting rooms. They don't have to sit in traffic. They don't have to deal with all the nonsense of leaving their house. I am one of those people. I don't like doing any of that stuff. Okay? Like no one's saying like you have to run a clinic, you have to have a brick and mortar practice. I would never tell someone to set up a brick and mortar practice. 2, so let's look at another example. So let's look at weight loss / like metabolic stuff, okay? Trainers, physical therapists, chiropractors, it doesn't matter, okay? Like if you have expertise in any kind of metabolic stuff, you can probably help clients, but you have to figure out, okay, I'm not just gonna do weight loss because weight loss is big. If you've never worked with clients on weight loss, don't do that online. 2 of our clients, Beth and Elliot, they had a chiropractic clinic, and when the pandemic hit, they got decimated. Like they lost like 70% of the revenue, like literally overnight. And that's when they found us. And obviously they're not adjusting spines online. So what did they do? They moved to offering weight loss coaching virtually. But in their clinic, there was also one of their specialties. So you're not adjusting someone and helping them lose weights. I mean, maybe there's some neurological benefits, I don't know. But they had expertise through different modalities offline and knowledge that then they could transfer online to help those patients or those clients. Ryan, one of our biggest success stories, you know, they had a chiropractic clinic, they were on the verge of bankruptcy, they took out a $40,000 loan just to survive at the end of 2019. They came across our work and they're like, man, we gotta do this. By March 2020, they were doing $358,000 per month with their coaching business online. And I share this story with people and they're like, that's crazy, you must be scamming people, there's no way it's possible. Here's the thing, they now do more than 3.2 million per month. And they build the world's largest coaching program for Hashimoto's. So those with Hashimoto's, that's what they help with. Now, they're not doing that by adjusting people online. They had a specialty and expertise in functional medicine. And so they took that, obviously, from whenever they had that offline previously, and they said, you know what, with this expertise that we have, we can help people more from a knowledge perspective, layered with coaching and accountability, et cetera, and a community of like-minded people to support them in this virtual setting. And they've built an incredible business that has helped thousands more than they ever did in the lifetime of their brick and mortar practice. And they've been able to donate millions of dollars to charity and do stuff that has just been so much more impactful than what they were doing in person. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with in-person brick and mortar stuff. It's just limited. Like the reason we don't help practitioners with their brick and mortar is because I fundamentally have an issue helping somebody build their own prison. So, 3rd is athletic performance. So this, again, and it doesn't matter if you're a physical therapist, chiropractor, personal trainer, there's a lot of overlap, right? I mean, I know a lot of chiropractors who are certified strength and conditioning specialists. As you're watching this, I don't care what your profession is. I want you to think about, this sounds like something I can do, right? So, athletic performance. Actually, a buddy of mine, he's not actually a client anymore, but back in the day he was a personal trainer, fitness expert, and he was a former professional tennis player, which is pretty cool because I love tennis too. And so he built a business online coaching other people on tennis. And what he would do, so like, I just want to give you some delivery ideas here. So he would analyze people's serve as an example. So they would serve and they'd have a camera on the serve and they'd send in the footage. And then for his higher level clients, he would analyze the footage, give them feedback. It was awesome. It was kind of like game reviews. So that's an idea of like for athletes, how you could help them improve their performance even if you never saw them in person. Now, one thing I'll mention with athletic performance, I would very strongly recommend, and when I say very strongly recommend, I mean never try to help college athletes, high school students, or people who don't have money, okay? So basically that cohort. You might be able to get away with it in the brick and mortar, the parents are paying for it, cool, that's fine. The challenge online is that number one, you're dealing with skepticism and a severe lack of trust. It is the biggest barrier to building a virtual practice or coaching business online. You might be watching this video and you're like, this guy's full of shit. If we were talking in person, it'd be a very, very different story because I'm a real person, even though I'm on video here, but there's a very different feeling when people are with you in person. That's the biggest obstacle you have to be aware of. Building a virtual business is very, very hard. It's very hard. It's infinitely harder than a brick and mortar. If you don't have what it takes to go through the ups and downs of doing that, stop watching this video and go back to seeing patients 12 hours a day, okay? I'm serious about this. It's very hard. But anything great isn't easy. And I can tell you, having been online 100% for 17 years, it's 1,000,000% worth it. I've made fortunes online, and I've helped, more importantly, hundreds of thousands of people. I wanted to leave a dent in this world, and I spend all of my time with my kids. I've got 4 kids. When I was working 12, 14 hours a day, this is before I had kids, I would never have seen them if I was still doing that. Now I wake up, I have breakfast with them, I can walk them to school, I can pick them up, I can play with them whenever I want. Yes, I work in the business obviously and I love what I do, but I travel with them, we do whatever we want. I own my life, right? The business doesn't own me. But when you're trading time for money, when you have to be in a clinic, it's a fucking nightmare. Okay? If you're at that point in your journey, like maybe you just have to go through a couple more years of it before you're like, you know what, maybe he's right. That's all good though, I'm not judging, right? That's just my perspective. So pain reduction, weight loss, metabolic stuff, athletic performance improvements. Those are kind of 3 big ideas that you could run very profitably and successfully in an online fashion. But again, going back up to here is you have to have the know-how. You have to know how to do that. You have to understand that you have to believe you can produce better results online than they would get elsewhere if they went offline. And your clients will get better results because they have to show up and do the work in a different fashion than if they were only coming in and just getting treated by you, okay? It's really, really important. And listen, I really just want you to be open-minded to the possibility that this is actually happening. Even if it's not a reality for you right now, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And if you're gonna ask me for like, I need your clients' names and websites, it's never gonna happen, okay? It's something called privacy, right? So let me ask you this, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from doing stuff online? Fear of the unknown. What if this doesn't work? Well, it's probably not going to with that mindset. I'm supposed to know everything before I get started. Really? Did you know how to adjust spines before you went to chiropractic college? No. You commit first and then you figure out the rest later. That's how this works. Welcome to the real world of uncertainty, but I'm willing to bet that you have a little bit of an entrepreneurial edge inside of you, which is like, you know what, I can deal with a little bit of uncertainty because you are your certainty. In a world that is very uncertain, you have to be the one thing that is certain. So you have to believe in yourself. So fear of the unknown, fuck it. Just move forward, you'll figure it out. Second, what about the fear of seeing your life fly by before your eyes and sitting on the sideline the whole way through? I have a number of friends that I don't really hang out with anymore, obviously, because, you know, sometimes you just evolve and they don't. And I remember one of them saying like, hey man, you're really lucky you built this cool life. I'm like, we talking about lucky? I made a decision in 2005 to stop grinding away and to actually build the dream. I'm not lucky. I mean, maybe I'm lucky in certain circumstances, but I made a decision and I worked my ass off. So what have you done, right? You've made choices that have led you to where you are. I'm talking to my friend in this case. That's just the decision. When I transitioned online in 2005, here's exactly the 3 steps I went through. Number 1 is I said, I need to put some time aside every day, but I don't have any income coming in from online stuff. So what am I gonna do? I can't cut all my clients. So I took an hour at lunch. Instead of talking with random people, I put myself in an office at the gym I was working at, and I just started working on something. I don't even know what the hell I was doing. I had no rhyme or reason, no strategy, no direction. So I wasted my time for a long time. Don't make that mistake. But I did something. Then I started getting a little bit of traction, and I said, you know what, I need to put more focus and attention on this. And so therefore I looked at, okay, I'm gonna take 2 days a week. I'm only working on my business online. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, whatever it was. Did that for like another year and a bit. And then I just got rid of all of my clients who I didn't want to work with anymore, which is pretty much everyone, except for a handful of people who I loved hanging out with, and we just kind of shot the shit and hung out, right? That's how it started. Now, for me, it took 3 years to go from starting online to actually building a 6-figure business. I went through 3 years of major financial struggle because I was stupid. I was stupid in the sense that I thought I could figure out everything by myself. That would be like learning chiropractic from YouTube videos. That's kind of how I was operating. Meanwhile, we help our clients build 6- and 7-figure businesses, in some cases 6 to 12 months, right? So our whole goal is to help you time compress 5 to 7 years of growth and results in 12 months or less. And that's what we've helped our clients do. But my goal here is to just give you some ideas about how to think outside the box. And remember, you're starting a business online. It's a whole new skill set. You have to build new skills, right? You're climbing new hills, you have to build new skills. Don't expect things to be easy. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fucking hard. And if you're not okay with that, just keep grinding away. But it's gonna be harder if you stay in what you're doing. Okay, so be conscious of the fact that you have to build new skills. You have to learn about marketing. You have to learn about business. You have to learn about how to persuade people and have conversations with total strangers and convert them into paying clients if they've never seen you in person. Different skill set. Now, obviously, you have the experience of having helped people for years, perhaps, and that's the superpower. And that's the thing that matters most. Everything else is figure-outable. But if you don't have experience working with people and you've not got expertise in your domain, well, you got to do that first, right? So anyways, if you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, what do I do exactly? How do I get clients? How do I build out a coaching program? How do I do all this stuff? We help our clients with this every single day, like A to Z. We have everything figured out, okay? But anyways, in the meantime, watch the next video. I'm going to show you exactly how I would build a $1 million coaching business, virtual practice, whatever you want to call it, from scratch in 12 months or less. I'll walk you through the exact steps, the math, and exactly what is needed at each step of the journey, okay? So watch that now. I look forward to seeing you there, and thanks for hanging out.